Hello! Oh my goodness. Well, this is awkward. Thank you so much, Useless Rogue, for the 5 gifted subs, Sharkbait with the Prime sub, Honey Streaming Services, thank you so much for raiding in with your party of 5. Lovely to see you all. Dogman Jack, thank you for the 14 months and the 2 gift subs. The hype train is almost here, folks. But yes, so today I wasn't supposed to be streaming Minecraft. Normally every other Sunday, as some of you folks may know if you've been following the channel for a little while, every other Sunday I stream on a different channel with a group called the 8-Bit Community, where we play Dungeons and Dragons on Sundays, on like alternating Sundays. And unfortunately our group had to cancel today's session kind of at the last minute, so I decided I should be using my day streaming Empires like I normally would. So we're going to be on Empires. Problem is I wasn't prepared to stream today, so I will have to spend the first little chunk of the stream escaping from an area that I'm not supposed to be in. As far as you folks know, so I'm gonna be returning to my base. Broken Physics, thank you so much for the 18 months, the second Twitch baby. Appreciate that. And Ginger with the 42 months. Finding the answer to life, universe, and everything, everywhere, all at once. Very good, very good. Got an hour and a half before your D&D session. Sorry, ours was cancelled. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, one of our group is just not feeling well, and we're going to need our full roster to be at full strength for the next session because we are in the lair of the big bad currently. So I'm going to briefly hop onto Empires. I'm not going to change my view over just yet. I just need to make sure I know where I am and that I've got a bunch of things and that I'm leaving certain things behind. And yeah, okay, all right. I will have to remember that a lot of this stuff is here. I'm going to take a screenshot of it so I remember. Okay, none of this is going to make sense to you, and for that I apologize, but I'll be able to explain some of it once you've seen what on earth is going on here, which you will not for a while. So, let's throw this stuff in here. And I guess... Oh, wait, I can put that in there as well, and I will definitely check that. Okay, good. Yes. Fine. Wonderful. Okay. Alright, sorry about this. I'll be back in a second. I'll be back in a second. You'll just have to trust me that everything is fine. Empire's the Chad's D&D. It really is. What's up, Ollie? Yes. So, all right. Now I can, if any of my shortcuts are working. There we go. Now I can safely be in the Nether. If you don't mind asking, what's my D&D character like? My current D&D character in the 8-Bit Community campaign is a drunken master monk named Banjo. He's a 68-year-old human, and he's hilarious to play. I love him so much. He's, yeah, for a drunken master, he's pretty straight-laced, but obviously the whole point is not necessarily that you are drunk all the time, it's that you act like you're drunk all the time to throw people off. But we just fixed a lot of stuff about my character because I didn't have a lot of the behind-the-scenes, like, calculations right in Roll20 for how my character's stats should behave, so now I'm much more powerful than I used to be, and we're all level 5 right now, so it's really, really fun. It's good times. Nathan B, thanks so much for the 8 months. Cap Steph Barnes, thanks so much for the 100 bits. The Dude 1469 with the 2,000 bits. Oh my goodness, so many bits. Really appreciate that. And Square Moon with the 10 months. Thank you for the 10 months. What's that indie channel? Ginger has just dropped a link to it in chat via Nightbot. Once again, we stream every other Sunday, so it would have been this week. It's probably not going to be next week to like make up for it or whatever because people have other stuff scheduled on other Sundays. And the Dude 1469 with the 5 gifted subs. Oh my goodness, so generous. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, we have a human fighter, a wood elf ranger, an orc, a half orc cleric of Tyr, and a gnome druid, I think. I think that's our usual group. The cleric has a sidekick named Ted, who is actually the protagonist of the campaign, but yeah, it's pretty great. Space Medicate, thank you so much for the brand new Tier 1 sub to the channel. Enjoy your emotes and your sub badge. Welcome to the Pixels. So yeah, I have a secret path behind my nether portal. You don't get to know what it leads to. Sorry. Love building but hate solo survival, searching for a good SMP. Good luck. There is a Minecraft Reddit that is dedicated to people looking for SMPs. I'm falling through the world. Help. Hello? It would be great if the server could load. Okay, good. We're fine. Lag when we've been going through nether portals is the real deal right now, as you can see. But I'm back, and I'm at spawn, and hopefully nothing will go wrong. My laser trying to kill the spiders, which I would be fine with. And I sleep now. All right. Okay, fingers crossed. We're good. And nothing else is going to mess us up. Stay puffed. Welcome back. Thank you for the 46 months of Prime. But yeah, r/Minecraft servers, I think, is the subreddit. That's really good if you're looking for SMP to join. Obviously, this is a private SMP, so we're not recruiting anybody new right now. And typically we do that from a pool of our friends who are good content creators and that kind of stuff. So that's the situation here. Tricia, thank you for the 500 bits. I have the Tango Rubber Band effect. I do. I think I'm the only one online right now, though, so I would be surprised if there was too much affecting that. I think we'll do a bit of trading to start off with, because my tools are looking a bit the worse for wear, and I need to trade with some villagers anyway. So we might quickly farm some woods, and yeah, for that it would help if we had bones. Oh, we have tons of bone blocks, though. I got a load of those from the Soul Sand Valley on the last stream, so in theory we should be fine. What's say brand new here, been watching the Survival Guide on YouTube. It's extremely helpful to a first-time Minecrafter. That is entirely the plan, so thank you so much. I'm glad that you have been finding that useful. Appreciate the feedback, and hope you continue to enjoy the series. Check out Empires if you've got the time, though, because we do some absolutely wacky stuff here that I will probably spend some time attempting to explain in the Survival Guide. And I'll have a Survival Guide episode out this week that's probably going to be focusing on storage system stuff, because that's what I'm doing on Empires right now. We're doing some fun stuff with block swappers and things that I think would be good to do little tutorial features for here and there. And Prismarine, thanks so much for the 5 months. Lizzie Bell with the 3 months. Thank you, thank you. Gosh, we got a level 3 hype train rolling. I should stream on D&D days more often. Just kidding. Love my D&D group. Wouldn't leave them. Extremely happy for later. Mum's friend asked me to manage a water slide and make sure kids stay safe and go one at a time, and I'm getting paid. Nice! Hey, fun. Sounds like a good summer job. Hopefully you can stay cool if you're at a water park kind of place, or is it just like a slip and slide? Either way. Have I ever played What Remains of Edith Finch? No, I've heard of it, but I've not played it. I think ZloyXP has played that on his channel at various points. I don't tend to play. It's more like is it like a point and click adventure kind of game, like a more modern one, or am I thinking of a different game? Haven't gotten far into Survival Guide myself, but I think it would help me because I went a good like 3 years before I started playing Minecraft. And the last time I was running the update, Aquatic came out, then I got it again in 2021. There's still stuff I don't know. There's still stuff I don't know about this game, and I make tutorials about it every week, you know? Kay the River Cat, thank you for the 300 bits. Welcome on in, lovely to see you. Will we get Homer? No, I don't think we're going to be rescuing that horse. He's cool where he is, though. Like, he's in a tree, but he seemed fine with it. And if I get a horse, it's probably going to be from around the area where I currently have my stuff set up, because getting animals back from long distances like that is always a real pain. Even if you do it via the Nether, you've got to build a tunnel and everything. It's a lot. Plus, we don't know what kind of horse Homer is. Homer might just be like a really rubbish horse. I don't know. Elena Halloway, thank you so much for the 100 bits. I also have a name picked out for my mount when I get it, and it's not going to be a horse, so it wouldn't really make sense to have a horse already called Homer and then do something completely different. And Kieloni, thank you so much for the 100 bits as well. Appreciate that. When I can speak, I'm very grateful. On the diagonal with a 300 bits for a bonus stream. Thank you so very much. Wife helped me beat the dragon last night. Host on my PlayStation. When she loaded to the end, it put her into the void. Oh, no. Oh, that's the worst. Yeah, that almost happened to me when I came back from my secret project at the beginning of this stream. Is there an efficiency rating for Iron Farm designs? I just want a low-key one for some redstone stuff in a single-player world. Honestly, the one I built in Survival Guide, if you're in Java Edition, it's one module, 3 villagers, 1 zombie. It's very, very simple to build, and it will give you more iron than you will ever need if you're building it in a single-player world. If you just want to do, like, medium-sized storage systems, it's pretty much perfect. I've turned mine off in the Survival Guide now because it makes more iron than I really have the capacity for at this point. Saw a bike on my Instagram. What's my take on kickstand? I don't know what that is. Like, in the context that you're describing it to me, I have no idea what that is. Is that like an app or something? Is setting up a TNT wood farm actually worth it? Looks fun, but for getting loads of wood, the chopping method is still up to par. To be honest, like, it's just about being able to AFK it. Like, there's maybe a slight advantage in terms of time and the fact that you don't have to actively engage with what you're doing for automatic wood farming, but yeah, frankly, I find that if you're just growing 2x2 spruce trees, it's fine. I think it's good for the awkward wood types. Like, if you create an automatic tree farm, it's good for the wood types where they grow weird-shaped trees and, you know, it's easier to collect it in bulk. But for the 2x2 trees like spruce, dark oak, jungle, I think it's honestly a little easier to collect the wood this way rather than set up a wood farm, but I'm kind of fine with it. How far away from a village should you build an iron farm? I don't know for certain, but ideally you want to keep villagers away from seeing other villagers, I think, in those kinds of farms. So the thing is, it doesn't have to be about, like, the placement of villages anymore. It's much more to do with which groups of villagers are able to exchange information. Distance matters in Bedrock, though probably yes, because I think Bedrock is still measuring that stuff based on, like, a village center. I think that's how it works, but don't quote me on that. I've never really built a Bedrock iron farm. Was my glass enclosure for the calcite torn down? Yes, if you watch Joel's video, Joel takes the entire thing down and then returns the glass by shrink wrapping my mountain, which he did whilst I was streaming earlier this week. It was very funny, though. Joel's video is well worth watching, because it turns out like 2 or 3 other people pranked him all the same day, which is pretty great. Profislov, thank you so much for the 9 months. Nixcraft, thank you for the 500 bits. Thank you all for the hype train. Hope you all enjoyed your emotes.
Well, that's just Prime.
Tired Pumpkin, thanks so much for the 5 months of Prime. What class do I play in D&D? I pretty much exclusively play monks in every game that I'm part of. I did play a paladin in one of our one-shots with 8-Bit Community, but my main character in our current campaign in 8-Bit Community is a drunken master human monk who's an old man named Banjo. And he's, like, loosely, like, the vague inspiration I have for him is a character named Gen from Street Fighter and Jackie Chan's character from The Forbidden Kingdom, because they're both, like, drunken master kind of characters and they're awesome. I enjoy watching them fight. Ty Pumpkin, thank you for the 5 months of Prime. Tyler plays up with the 25 months. Appreciate the resubs, both of you. Are we going to update the server to 119.2, presumably, at this point? Yes, once the mods update. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't. I think we probably want to be able to duplicate allays at some stage, so yeah, I think we will. Can I build a massive storage setup for people to use when Empire's SMP becomes a download? I mean, why? If you don't mind me asking, like, what benefit does building a storage system for other people have when they can just look at the storage systems that we've built and build their own if they want to? Like, I don't know. That just seems like a strange request to me. Yeah, I love Jackie Chan. He's such an incredible entertainer. Brilliant martial artist. I need to watch more Michelle Yeoh movies as well. Like, obviously seeing her in Everything Everywhere All at Once was great, and I loved her work in Crouching Tiger, but I feel like there's so much of her other work that I just haven't seen that would really love to. Classy Phantom, thank you for the 12 months. Everyone spam the word nerd in the chat, please. Thank you so much for the full year of supporting the channel. Enjoy your nerd sub badge. Welcome to the Nerd Herd. Happy to have you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel for as long as you have. Do I like Overwatch? I've never played Overwatch. I like the character design a lot. I think they've always come up with really interesting characters, but I've never played Overwatch. Not really a first-person shooter kind of guy. The last first-person shooter I played was Destiny 1 on the PS4. Have I seen her in Star Trek Discovery? I have not, but I know she's part of the Star Trek, like, canon. Where can you find the resource pack used in Empire's SMP? Fwhip has it available to his patrons. It's not available publicly anywhere right now, as far as I'm aware. And some of the extra stuff, like people's custom tools, mounts, Jimmy's sheriff's hat, all of that stuff. Shovel's wand and witch hat. All of that stuff is like custom stuff that's not part of Fwhip's texture pack. It's something that's being basically custom modeled for us as we go through this season. The hot dog hands. We don't mention the hot dog hands. You can actually apparently buy those as like a... It's like a product that they made. Which I'm like, no. I will not. My class in race in D&D, I am a human monk, drunken master. Is the custom stuff added via resource pack, data pack, or is it a mod? A bit of both. The resource pack obviously controls the models, but the mod allows us to actually import them as fresh new items some of the time.
Well, that's just
and deals with some of the entity modeling stuff that is tied to stuff that vanilla Minecraft doesn't support by default. The kind of stuff that would be added through Optifine, but we're not using Optifine because we're running Fabric and Sodium and everything else. Alright, these guys are just running over there. That's fine. Booty Bandit 42, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Welcome on in. What am I going to do about the glass mountain? I'm going to leave it there for now. If I want the glass later, I might return it, but I think for now it's just kind of a funny... Like, it's a funny reminder of the pranks, the jokes, the landmarks. And in the meantime, I don't need the calcite for anything, and I covered the area underneath it in lava, so if I did want it back, I would have a hard time getting it back. But me and Joel have both found the same patch of calcite that is miles away, the one that I have my my beacon strip mine set up at right now. And I've said it's fine for him to take it from there, because I don't see that on a regular basis. Didn't play D&D last night, got wrapped up shooting bad dudes in Apex Legends. Nice. How'd you do? Any dubs? I not really played Apex much, but I, again, like with Overwatch and a bunch of the other stuff, like, I enjoy the way they balance those games. It's really interesting to me. Like, I'm interested in it from more of a game design perspective, even though I'm not a game designer myself. I'm just, like, just curious because, you know, I participate in this industry as a consumer and as a content creator, and I just kind of like to keep an eye on that stuff, you know? Why am I getting emeralds? I'm not. I'm getting experience. This is my main way of farming XP, I don't want to go to Joel's gold farm. I don't want to set up an Enderman farm. We don't have one set up on the server quite yet. And so I mainly come over here. I trade like one farmer for some golden carrots, and I occasionally buy glass from the librarians, which is where I got most of the glass for the prank on Joel. But mostly I just do this to get experience and repair my tools. What did it say? D&D cancelled? D&D is Dungeons & Dragons. Every other Sunday I play Dungeons & Dragons, which is a pen and paper role-playing game, old school tabletop RPG, which I guess we play online, so it's evolved a little bit. But we play that every other Sunday, so I don't normally stream today. But our D&D session was cancelled, so I decided to come here and stream a little bit later than usual. What's up, Commissar? Welcome in. Glad you can make it on today's Sunday stream. Play D&D with my friends the older way and it's fun. Yeah, I have a home game that I started in 2020 with a couple of our friends and my partner and I. And we still play with, like, pen and paper character sheets and stuff. Pencil and paper, I guess, because we have to alter stats occasionally. But, yeah, we don't play through Roll20 or anything so far. I might end up suggesting that we do that at some stage, but it also depends on, like, what people's computers are capable of and stuff. Our friends have been playing on, like, older laptops for a little bit. And I know when we play D&D with the 8-bit group, Minnesota Toz' laptop absolutely hates Roll20, so... No useless rogue, I've not seen that. Roll20 is great, especially if the DM is familiar with it. Yeah, I'm finding that it's got its issues occasionally, but it's a neat platform, and you can do a lot with it if you know what you're doing. Which Abiotic Sign does at this point, but yeah, there've just been a couple of teething problems with this specific setup that we have. What's my Empire and Empire's SMP? I'm the Empire of the past, so I don't really have a current Empire in the same sense the other folks do. I'm still very much an agent of chaos on the server. I do like to, like, prank people and do bits and pieces. I have a base of sorts that's this ruin that I'm building, and I trade frog lights to people. I'm also going to be farming a couple of other resources later in the season, provided that people still want them. But I'm not, like, playing a character the same way the other folks are, if that makes sense. Like, my lore is not the lore of my specific character, it's more like the backstory of the world. But I still want to participate in this like it's an SMP. I'm still present. I'm not like some kind of ghost or something. Do I like Scott's Major? Of course I like Scott. I wouldn't be on a server with anybody I didn't like. I feel like if I had issues with anybody on this server, then I would probably see it as my place to step away, you know? But, like, I honestly doubt that I could be on a server with people I didn't like for very long. Drinking game, anytime anyone in Empires mentions lore, take a sip of tea. I mean, that's... you are likely to need a few bathroom breaks from that game, trust me. We're going to set up an Enderman farm this season or no, because lore from the dragon? I mean, the Enderman farm doesn't matter whether or not the dragon is there or not, really. The archaeologist character is such a cool concept to me. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a convenient excuse for me to be on here building ruins, right? Building ruins and discovering stuff. But, yeah, there's going to be some stuff that will seem like... If you thought of that as my character, there's definitely some stuff I'm building that it will be really out of character for me to do. So that's why I'm trying not to cling to the character thing too hard, because I've got some stuff planned that you guys are really going to love. but it doesn't make any sense for me to have been there building it. Are we going to find out who killed the dragon? Eventually, I expect so, yeah. It'd be kind of weird if we set that up and just never answered that question. Like, I can see us doing something like that if we really wanted to troll people, but we're not that mean. Do I prefer moss mining a chunk or manually mining with a pickaxe? Which do you think is faster? Moss mining, if you're going all the way down through deep slate, is definitely faster, because you're effectively insta-mining it anyway. You're just doing that with a hoe instead of a pickaxe. But have I found a deep slate emerald ore yet? No. You'll know when I have one. Like there's ambiguity in your character, mimics what we're able to know and say about the past anyway, since so much of it is a mystery. There you go, from an actual archaeologist in the chat. You love to see it. Validation. What do I think update 1.20 will be? What would I like to see in 1.20? I don't know for certain what 1.20 is going to be. Like, obviously, there's a few people pitching ideas for it right now, which I think is a bad idea, by the way, because Mojang has almost certainly already got stuff in mind for 1.20, and so anybody who pitches something that it turns out isn't what they have planned is just going to be disappointed. So all of these people asking for an inventory update right now, I think you're probably going to find yourselves disappointed, especially since, like, Mojang knows that there's inventory issues, but probably isn't going to try and solve them all in one update, because I don't think that would go down particularly well. There will definitely be some people who disagree with solutions for specific inventory issues, and so you're going to end up with another controversial update. I don't think it's the best idea on paper. I think 1.20 would be really good to have an update to forests. There's a bunch of different types of forests in the world. We know that birch forests were a hot topic after the update for 1.19, not featuring them particularly, and after that concept art that kind of showed a revamp of birch forests. We also have regular oak and birch forests, which don't really have all that much going on besides being abundant sources of wood. We got a taiga update a while ago that added berry bushes and a mob, but didn't really do anything with the trees. Flower forests are also in the game, and while they are lovely places, it would be an opportunity for them to revamp those, bring the Moo Bloom mob back in from one of the previous mob votes. Like, I feel like forests have room for expansion and seem like something that, once again, fits in with that long-term vision they were talking about when they introduced 1.19 of making the biomes of the overworld more immersive for players. It also means that they can postpone doing something larger like an end update, which I think needs a lot more time and care and attention put into it than we have, you know, we have seen them have lying. Like, they don't have a great deal of time in abundance to work on ideas like that, except long term. And I think, considering the pandemic shifting everyone's priorities around, Caves and Cliffs being split, all of that stuff happening, I don't think having an end update this soon seems like a great idea unless they've been working on it for months already. I mean, years, potentially. I do feel like it would also be a good opportunity to have, like, yeah, some of the other biomes from previous votes introduced, but it seems like if they're going to do the same thing they did with swamps, they're going to do those kind of one at a time, instead of just be like, let's catch up to all of the stuff that we've said was in previous biome votes, right? So, yeah, I think there's potential for stuff like that to happen. We're probably not going to see anything related to the Ancient City portal. I expect that's coming way, way, way further down the line, because people haven't had enough time to speculate on it since 1.19's only been out for 6 months before they announce the next update. So if they're like, oh, the Ancient City portal has a thing going on, then, you know, cat's out of the bag at that point, right? Have I ever defeated the Warden? I mean, as part of a group, we did that on Flip's stream and Joel's stream a little while ago. I haven't ever soloed the Warden, because I personally don't like the idea of fighting it. I think it's kind of fun as a challenge to be evaded and avoided, rather than directly fought. But, you know, I know that's not everyone's perspective, but that's mine. 116 Nether, 117, 18, and 19 Overworld, 1.20 End. It would be much better. I mean, like, it would be good to have an update to the end. Like, I'm not saying it wouldn't. I just think it might be it might not be the right time for the developers to take on a challenge like that. But then again, yeah, like, it's difficult because the last couple of updates, especially with the chat reporting feature they've added recently being controversial, I feel like I don't know whether the team is feeling pressure to put out an update that's kind of like a crowd pleaser, that's going to be something that all of the community can get behind the theme and be excited by, or if they've already had something in mind and they're just like, okay, let's remain confident in our ability to deliver a good update. Because I think regardless of what happens, regardless of what the update is, it's going to be under a lot of scrutiny right away, with people trying to pick it apart and say, okay, what are the features that they're going to cut when they inevitably say they don't have time, and taking that more cynical approach to it. Like, I've already seen people talking that way. When's the next episode coming out? Difficult to say, because I've been working on a big project that I can't show until it's been in other people's videos. So I don't know. I've been recording the making of that, but then I don't know when that episode is going to release. So I'll probably have a video out like early to midweek this week. I'll do a survival guide episode at some stage as well, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get some stuff out. But I have a bunch of footage recorded from the time that I helped Whip get the Warden into Joel's base. I have a bunch of other bits and pieces around, so I can stitch together an episode. I just want to make sure it's a good quality one for everybody. I want to work on some more stuff. Will there ever be a netherite grind? In here or in Survival Guide, potentially, yeah. The thing about doing that on Empires is I don't have a huge amount of TNT, and I don't have a farm that can get me lots of gunpowder for TNT, because Jimmy is the one farming gunpowder, and I'm not really allowed to do that. And without a huge supply of TNT, like, Jimmy would have to be supplying me with TNT for a good long time. I doubt I'll be able to make a full netherite beacon on Empires, but I don't think that would be something I'd want to do anyway, because when I did that in Survival Guide, it was like 4 months worth of streams. What will the Survival Guide episode be about? I'm going to attempt a couple more approaches to storage systems, because the Ancient City base needs a storage system, and I want to explain how I'm doing stuff like the block swappers here in Empires, because I've set up a couple of those without really doing a block by block tutorial for them. So I'd like to do something like that. Could you not use beds? The bed method sucks. I hate it. I could use beds, sure. That would also require buying a lot of wool from people who are trading wool and that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't like the bed method at all. I'm not the biggest fan. When are Mojang going to update the new announce the new update title? Probably at Minecraft Live this year, and I don't know when that will be. It's probably going to be end of September, beginning of October. It's usually when they have them. But yeah. Like, if you're asking me for dates, I have no idea, because I don't work for Mojang, so I'm not, like, I don't have any inside information about the development of Minecraft. How about just regular mining for the netherite? Regular mining isn't going to get you a whole bunch, though. Like, it's pretty slow if you're just mining by hand. Because, like, you're not going to find every piece of ancient debris in a chunk anyway. But if you're just mining using pickaxes, then yeah, it takes a while. I feel like updates have gotten more common lately, as in less time between updates. Part of me wishes it would go back to longer timescales so developers don't feel like they have to push themselves. I mean, they don't feel like they have to push themselves anyway, because Mojang has a pretty healthy work culture as far as, like, crunch and stuff goes, i.e. they don't do it. And they seem pretty happy with the update schedule they've set, so as long as they feel like they can deliver something that feels like a good update to them, I'm fine with it. How's the emerald fountain going? As far as I know, nobody's thrown emerald ore into it, but people don't go out mining for emerald ore the way I do, so... Oh, Queenie, that's cute. Field of Jan, thank you so much for the 12 months. Everyone spam the word nerd in the chat, please. The full year of support once again. Welcome to the Nerd Herd. Enjoy your nerd sub badge. I play D&D? Not today, I don't. Normally every other Sunday I do, though. Almost done repairing the tools. The Elytra is obviously looking healthy again, which is nice. Is this Spruce Sunday? Something like that. It's Repair Pixlriffs' Tools Sunday. This guy's now trading 37. That guy's locked up. This one's good. And I've also been running low on food for a little bit, so I definitely need to do a wee bit more golden carrot farming. Will I ever have custom Elytra like the other empires? Probably, yes. It's all being done by the same artist this season, so it just depends when they have time in their schedule. And I have a few things I want to do before custom Elytra, but like, since I don't look at myself very often, even when I'm flying around, I'm mostly doing it in first person. I don't feel the need to worry too much about, like, custom skins for my weapons and armor and stuff right away. Like, I feel like tools, if anything, would be the priority, but the mount is going to be the other main thing. Doesn't Catherine design some of the custom gear? She might do for her own stuff, but one of our priorities this time was making sure that everything was done with the same, like, format, so that nothing ends up being a compatibility issue. Last season, FWIP had to fix a lot of different people's styles of modeling because we had a bunch of different artists contributing to it, and that meant that, like, the person who did Sausage's, like, reskinned dog for Bubbles had submitted stuff that was in a completely different format to how, like, Blue was doing people's, you know, custom tools, and, like, a few other people had different stuff custom made for them, and it was, like, it was a mess. And FWIP was having to fix all of it out of the kindness of his heart because he is a good dude. Will I make a Skyblock series in 119? Probably not at this stage. I think the opportunity to do that has come and gone, and I had other priorities, like starting empires and doing new stuff in Survival Guide. I don't want to run 3 Minecraft series on my channel at once. That seems like a lot of work. And, yeah, honestly, I find the early stages of Skyblocks become something that I just sort of avoid if I have other stuff that I want to do, because I like building in Skyblock. I don't like it just being a technical series, because I'm doing all of the technical stuff in Survival Guide as well. But then it becomes, like, really difficult to make progress because you have to build nice-looking platforms to build all of your nice-looking builds on, and it takes, like, 5 times as long to do anything as it does in vanilla. Romanias, thank you so much for the 4 months. Wilburwood, thank you for the 5 as well. Love the Empire's skin last season, very regal. This time it was done by the same person. This is SEC, who did, yeah, the Copper King's wedding outfit that it was just my wardrobe for the remainder of the season because I liked it that much. Do you use Fabric or Forge? Fabric. We use Fabric for basically everything. And for Survival Guide, I don't use mods at all. I think if I've got room in a shulker box, I might... Oh, that's a concern. Do I have a spare shulker box anywhere? I guess I could put it in here, maybe. Yeah, I might start trading glass and store some more glass, because I don't have a lot of that right now. Have I written up anywhere what software, hardware for streaming, recording, and editing? Yes, you go to the About page of my YouTube channel. If you go to youtube.com/Pixlriffs, click on the About tab. All of my technical specs and the software I use is all listed there. Not a hugely complex setup. For streaming, I currently use Streamlabs. I keep meaning to make the switch to OBS, but it's one of those things where just getting around to it is like a day of my time that I could be spending doing other stuff. This guy's trading 40 sticks at this point, but I've got enough sticks, it's fine. What about the Shrink Rat Mountain? I want to leave it how it is. At least for now. Maybe not permanently, but for now. Because clearing up all of that glass is a pain compared to getting it in other ways. Alright, we'll break down the remains of this wood, but I'm pretty sure everything that can be mended has been at this point. I can repair my shovel with diamonds because, honestly, it doesn't need it right now. And it doesn't have mending yet because I still want to get a chance to trade with false symmetry at some stage. My bow, my sword, my shovel all do not have mending, neither do my leggings. Why don't I use Optifine in the survival guide? Because I don't need to be quite honest. As far as using the zoom feature, we've got the spyglass in vanilla now, so it seems less necessary. I like the spyglass. It's like an in-world zoom feature. It makes a lot more sense. Yeah, as far as any other features of Optifine go, I don't need the performance enhancements. Connected textures I could probably do using a resource pack if I needed to, but frankly I find it entirely fine to just... Okay, I did pick that up. Weird. I find it entirely fine to just play with vanilla textures. Like, it's fine. Bonnie37, thank you so much for gifting that sub, and Will D's with the 7 months. Appreciate the 7 months. Keeps the mountain fresh. Exactly, it's like freezer safe, and... shrink wrapped. I like the spyglass as well. Optifine zoom's been bound to a key that I can't reach. Use the spyglass instead. Yeah, fair play. Fair play. I probably get asked this loads, but would I ever consider doing MCC? I do get asked that quite a lot, and the answer is typically no, because I'm not really all that competitive, especially when it comes to, like, artificially created Minecraft game modes, like mini-games. Like, I'm not that competitive with that sort of stuff, and I'm not very good as a result, right? Whereas with stuff like Clash of the Creators, it was different, because that was a lot more about, like, Minecraft knowledge and... like using what you knew about vanilla instead of turning it into like a wipeout course or whatever, right? Like, that's really how I feel about it. And plus, there's so many other great creators in there. Like, me not being that worried about it leaves plenty of room for everybody else. We want to take a spot for somebody who's going to be more enthusiastic about it and more entertaining for everybody to watch. Do I watch MCC? Occasionally, but not all that often. Because I've often got other stuff to do when it happens. Do I find not being able to insta-mine glass annoying? I mean, I guess. I typically plan ahead for it, so I don't build anything out of glass that I would not be willing to take down. And to be honest, I could do that with the mountain, but I don't need glass that urgently that it's really a problem. Am I still thinking about getting a mount for this season? Yes. No, it's coming. It's happening. I just don't have it yet. All right, let's do some work on the catacombs. Because I want to dig down a couple more levels. I want to have some other options for what we're going to be doing here. Glass can be easily traded from librarians. Yeah, or I can just go and dig up a beach somewhere or something. You know, it's easy enough. Thought I'd ask since Scott created and he's on Empires. Yeah, that fact has not escaped me for sure. But like, yeah, I'm not that worried about MCC stuff personally.
Well, that's just prime.
Twixy, thanks so much for the Prime sub. A brand new sub to the channel. Enjoy your emotes, enjoy your sub badge, and welcome to the Pixels. Happy to have you. So, right. Here's the thing. Need a huge dark space somewhere close by for eerie noises. I'm sure there are plenty around here.
Well, that's just prime.
Don't have to go far before I hear zombie noises. So, one of the things I want to do is have an automated storage system around here for specific types of blocks, right? So we have hoppers already going into the backs of these. I want there to be probably water streams going around here, right? So what I'm thinking is, downstairs can maybe be a more manually sorted area. I think up here, we should aim for it to all be roughly on the same level. So what I'm thinking is we go down 2 blocks on this side, and we build effectively the same thing. That's what I think. Alternatively, we go down here and we build something else over there, but I think this is probably going to be the best thing for it. And so this is going to be... It's going to be like that, because we have slabs there. Yeah, okay. What am I doing? I'm carving out more of a space for my storage system. And then we want 4 blocks, 5, 6, 7 into the center here. Automatic for the most used materials, manual for the less used and miscellaneous. Yeah, totally. That's the plan. Need to use more glazed terracotta. There are loads of interesting patterns that can be used with normal blocks to great effect. Yeah, I mean, Mythical Sausage is building with some glazed terracotta over in Sanctuary, which is worth looking at. What's up, Mystery? Welcome in. If it's your first time catching the stream, always happy to have new folks joining us. Maybe adding water at the top of some areas to get a drippy catacombs effect. Honestly, like, I don't think it needs it around here, because for a start, we're in a savanna, which is, in terms of Minecraft's reckoning of this stuff, it's a warm biome anyway. But I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't want too much. Like, there's a bit of moss around here, but it's meant to be more like dry and dirty kind of thing. Like, if there was a lake above me, then maybe, but... So yeah, we want chests there. Do I have any more stashed away? I've got a couple we can use as placeholders for now. We can put these here. Obviously we're going to have those up on shelves like these, but then it's 3 blocks to the end, and then basically like a 5x5 in between these pillars, yeah. Hardened clay, gosh, those were the days. Let's fortune this. I need more coal. Always need more coal. Oh, the other thing we might do if I have time, because I started late, so I'm not sure what time I'm going to finish, but once we've dug out a bit more of this, I might go and find the nether fortress that I went and Wither Skeleton farmed at for my beacon, and we might try and get a couple more Wither Skeleton skulls for a couple of things. Later on, it will turn out that I did not need to replace all of these blocks because I'll just break them again to put corridors here, but that does happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically here, right? Yeah. That is a lot of coal. I agree. Watching Empires has been so inspiring. Been playing with a desert-themed Empire build of your own. It's nice to pick a palette and just run with it. Yeah, like that's what I do in a lot of Minecraft worlds anyway, is just try and pick a theme that goes really well with the area you want to build in. It's part of the joy of building in this game. Been working on storage for every single item in the game, quickly realizing how many items there are has been wild. There are 40 enchantments. That doesn't even take levels of each one. Yeah, no, totally. There's too many. It is a common refrain, although jokingly, on the Spawn Chunks podcast now that there are too many things in this game. I'll block that off because I don't need the coal anymore. Coal is everywhere. We can get it from anywhere. It's my favorite type of Minecraft village. I don't know. I feel like the classic Plains village is quite good. It's the one that I call to mind when I think of village. But then I think Savannah villages have a lot of great character to them. I think the desert villages are pretty well designed. And the snowy tundra villages are also very good. C-Dubs, thanks so much for the 12 months. Everyone spam the word nerd in the chat once again. We welcome somebody new to the Nerd Herd. Enjoy your new nerd sub badge. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate the full year of supports. Snowy villages have the best villagers because of their hats. They do have the toque situation going on. Fool of a toque. Yeah, okay.
Well, that's just prime.
Like the tiger villages too, they're more rustic. Yeah, they're decent. I feel like I rarely see them because they're always just kind of sandwiched in between the trees. Ski Pro, thank you for the 8 months. Underground Swamp Village. It's all about the jungle villages, right? Let's grab some andesite slabs.
That's just prime.
The other thing I need to check is in here. Because I think Joey wanted a bunch of deep slate. Didn't realize that those were already out there. Ooh, okay, I need to go mining. I thought I had a lot more deep slate than I did. I need to go mining. Cool Dudes Full 208, thank you so much for the 2 months of Prime. Welcome in. Do I have anything in here? Nope. Nope, and nope. What enchantment would I add to Minecraft? Do you think bows need an accuracy enchantment since they added targets and since bows have inherent spread? I mean, maybe? They have made bows slightly less inaccurate now. Which is both good and bad news for us and skeletons. I don't know, I feel like an accuracy enchantment would be kind of cool. Personally, I don't know. Like, it's the kind those ideas sort of drift in and out of my head and I can never really hold on to them for very long. Because I've just got other... Like, I go with whatever Mojang gives us a lot of the time. Like, I'm not that fussy. I'm not one of those people who thinks, oh, Mojang, I've been doing it wrong for years. Here's what I would add to the game. But I think a lot of those ideas can turn out to be very good and constructive. As long as people remember to keep them that way. Did I move all of the andesite into the storage system already, or do I still have some around here? I have a ton of basalt there. Oh, I do have a ton of deep slate. It's just still here. Well, that makes more sense. I need less deep slate than I thought. I still need to get some deep slate, though. There's me andesite. There's me andesite. And now I need to remember if there's a stone cutter down there or not. Do I watch any Hermitcraft? Do I? I'm half of the team that does the Hermitcraft recap every week, so yes, I watch Hermitcraft literally every week. Not all of them, but I watch half of them. It really depends who uploads on any given week as well, but I am responsible for watching a great deal of Hermitcraft. There's my stone cutter. I knew I left it here somewhere. YouTube just gave me a notification to recommend me a clip of Jimmy learning about spawners. Honestly, if people haven't seen the clip in which Fwhip tricks Jimmy into getting the "You've Got a Friend in Me" advancement, go and watch that. Like, leave this stream to go and watch that on his Clips channel right now. Because it's very funny. But then come back here once you're done watching it, please. Mecky Moose, thank you for the 6 months of Prime. Welcome on back. On Fwhip's channel? I think it's on Fwhip's channel, but it's also a clip on Jimmy's, and you need to see it for Jimmy's reaction, I think. Like, watch Fwhip's videos as well, because he makes good videos, but watch it on Jimmy's channel for the levels of facepalm that happen. The best part about it for me is that he doesn't even realize at first. I think he's like saying something to his missus off camera or something, and then he looks back at the monitor, and Fwhip is already like singing, and he just realizes it's all over at that point. So good. Group just cancel the RPG session as well. Oh my goodness, there's something going around apparently. What is his Clips channel? I think it's Solidarity Shorts. Yeah, I think it's something like that. Delayed reactions are the best reactions. Bless that man. Is that how that works? Oh, it is how that works. Okay, good. I'm not just absolutely ruining my own build. Always nice when that happens, isn't it? There we go. And then we've got like framework around here. Yeah. We can do that. We can do that. It's just the bit, like, after they've both been laughing at it for, like, 40 seconds, where Jimmy's like, I think I'm gonna throw up. Oh, that man will never not be funny. Can't call this the ruins if you're not ruining it. That's fair. Would still rather it looked good before I did that, you know? Recently we got Joey Graceffa acting straight. Hey, Pirate Joe is bi. Pirate Joe is bi. He's confirmed this on Twitter already. As everyone's just coming back now being like, yep, you were right. it's incredible. Yes. I had the privilege of Fwhip coming to me en route to Jimmy being like, I'm gonna do this, and we saw that on stream, and it did not disappoint going back and watching that after I was done streaming. So good. Let's do one of those there. Let's do an andesite stair over here because tiny variations like that make all the difference in these kind of builds. I was watching Jimmy get the achievement live, screaming, "Oh, Jimmy, don't!" against the TV. Yeah, tragically he can't hear you. Yeah, no, it's very, very funny. Joel leaving Jimmy's stream to laugh at him on the server. Yeah. What do I need here? This stuff. Again, I probably have a bunch over at the catacombs. I'm just trying to use up some of the stuff in this storage system so I have less blocks to move over once I'm done with it. No hard feelings if you want to go watch Jimmy. Oh, entirely, yeah. Like, this stream is fine. Like, I appreciate people sticking around, but there are definitely moments that you want to be there for, you know? And I think we know which those moments are. They're usually the ones involving Jimmy, actually. So I think it's something like that over there. Something along these lines. Has anyone used the Emerald Fountain yet? I don't believe so. Last time I checked, they hadn't. And I checked, I think, yesterday or the day before. It's the first SMP I've ever watched. I love the world-building approach. Super fun to watch. Hey, thank you so much. There's a lot of other fantastic servers out there. Well, depending on what you're into. If you're into, like, the roleplay stuff, then we're a good place to start. Obviously, Dream SMP was massive. Still is. There's, yeah, a little bit of that in the last season of Hermitcraft, but Hermitcraft is a good all-rounder to watch if you're into high-level Minecraft gameplay by full-time content creators. It's always a pleasure to watch them. Madam Blue, Mr. Chris, thank you so much for the Prime subs, both of you. Welcome in. I guess up here we'll continue a bit of this. Maybe some polished up there, Yeah, that works. That's fine. Is Dream SMP roleplay? I mean, they have lore or whatever. It's like they kind of come up with storylines and stuff to follow. They just have the usual amount of server hijinks and whatnot, but then there's, yeah, attempts at storylines and bits and pieces. They're all just a bunch of dudes goofing around, really. But when it comes to, like, arguments and stuff, think of it as, like, one of those scripted reality TV shows where, I don't know, it's a bunch of rich housewives yelling at each other and stuff. That's basically what servers like that are. Like, behind the scenes, they're all like, oh, how can we stir up drama this week, right? Scripted plot points, but mostly improvised. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, on stuff like Real Housewives of wherever, they have, you know, producers kind of, like, feeding them a bit of stuff about what to say and whatever, and, like, they're just trying to capture some of those moments on camera. It's more or less what happens. Real Housewives of Dream SMP, can you imagine? Especially because half of them are, like, 16 or whatever, so there's, like... the idea of them having wives at this point is, you know, basically illegal. Wonder how much Empires or Hermitcraft is improvised and how much is planned out beforehand. Hermitcraft is very improvised, like the whole king thing. I expect they'll have hashed out some of the details behind the scenes just to make sure everyone's okay with, like, okay, we're going to make Rendog king. Does anyone have any objections, right? But then as far as, like, it can be week to week when you're making up the details of some of that stuff. Like, oftentimes it just takes one person starting a thing for a bunch of other people to have ideas about it, but you haven't planned out the entire arc of how that's going to go. Primarily because YouTube is so reaction-based, right? You're looking at people's comments and stuff as they're coming in and, like, what people latch onto, what details people like and what they draw fan art of. All of that stuff contributes to what people then want to turn those plot points into. So on Empires especially, like, I don't think Sausage and Joel would have done the Hermes thing for as long as they have been so far, unless people were just, like, really loving it in the comments, right? They'd have probably dropped it a little while ago. It's funny for them, don't get me wrong, but, like, yeah, everyone's, like, drawing fan art of them both having this little kid, and it's like, this is great. Like, they want to keep that joke going. And so, yeah, you can do stuff like that, and as long as people are into it, you're going to want to keep doing it. Agree in having to resist to making a resistance. Yes, the resistance. And, like, explicitly setting up a thing that says this is not a resistance, which, again, Zloy XP entirely on the money with the t-shirt joke. How do you all play together in such different time zones? Does it get in the way? Not exactly, because we don't rely on everybody being there for content to happen. Like, if people can meet up at certain times, then great, and we try and have that happen, but most people are either in the UK or in the US, and so there's still plenty of opportunity for people to interact at those times, and we just try and keep an open communication about it in Discord. Speaking of which, Joey is contacting me about trading him some Deep Slate. Cool. Generally love Joel and Sausage co-parenting Hermes. Yeah, it's a great plot point. Also a really nice way of, like, normalizing people talking about same-sex parent, like, child raising. Like, it's it's nice. It's very sweet. There's probably a better way of saying that, but that's what my brain produced at the time. Like, I don't want to call it a gay relationship because we have no confirmation that it is. It's just them having a child together. Like, I'm pretty sure Joel said, like, you know, his character is like a straight man who just has a child with another man, which is, like, also entirely fine, right? Aromantic parents, yeah, sure. Like, that's another way you can look at it, yeah. I'm getting too meticulous about this and wanting to make sure it copies the same way. So yeah, 2 blocks archway. Good. Platonic parents. I mean, in terms of, like, the theme Joel is going with, Plato is probably still around, right?
Well, that's just prime.
Plato's there giving him advice. Oh, the way they call him Child for so long. Child! So yeah, chains, Soul Lantern. Jennifer, thank you so much for the 2 months. Big Empires fan, always fun to watch you all interact. Hey, thank you very much. Glad you're enjoying this season. Better make sure it's right later than later finding out you messed up by 1 block or something. Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be me. So obviously with the automated segments of storage, we can kind of have that go underneath the staircase that we already have. I think this will work pretty well. Crypt is giving me some Skyrim vibes. A lot of people are saying that. I don't play Skyrim. I haven't played Skyrim, so I don't know for certain, like, which areas make sense. I feel like crypt design, like, stuff like this is often the case, is often pretty similar in a variety of games. Like, I'm basing a lot of the stuff that I've built in the ruins here on Elden Ring, and there's definitely some dungeons that look sort of like this. People like alcoves to entomb people in. It works out that way. Not enough traps? Yeah, true, not enough traps. Not enough skeletons just leaping from the side of here, 2 daggers. But yeah, we'll see what I'm capable of later. I was thinking Paris Catacombs. Yeah, I think they feel a little bit more organic in terms of a set of tunnels, I think. Said on Twitter that I'm playing through Hades. Yeah, I decided to replay it after I watched the no-clip documentary series on YouTube about the development of Hades, which is a really good watch if anybody's interested in what it looks like working for a game studio, and just the story of that game in general is just really, really interesting. But the main thing I took away from it was, hey, Hades was a really great game. I want to play that again, so I am. So I plan on putting traps into the catacombs. Not this one, because this is my storage system, and I don't really feel like trapping myself, because I will forget. I would probably end up forgetting about something and then, yeah, destroying myself in some hilarious fashion. Which I guess would be good content, but it'd also just be really, really annoying for me. To be, like, shot by my own arrows every time I walk in here or something. But yeah, I started playing Hades again. I beat the final boss on attempt 5 because I have no chill. And to be fair, picking up that game again is very, very straightforward. Like, it's very easy to do. But then I died a bunch of times after that, so it was kind of a fluke. But the bow is just broken. The bow is just very, very good. I really hated the bow. Like, the ranged weapons in Hades were not my jam when I first picked it up. Like, I think ultimately my favorite weapon ended up being the fists, but, like, I came back with the bow. I got a really good special setup on the bow and was just like, right, I'm off to the races now. It's so good. Can't use the gun in Hades. The secret to the gun I found is getting the special upgrade, the hammer of, what's it called? Not Damocles. Who's the one? God, it's completely left me, and I was playing it earlier today. Daedalus. The Daedalus hammer upgrade that causes multiple rockets to be fired, or like multiple grenades or whatever they are, because then you have such a great spread with the special that, especially in the later rooms that are more tightly packed, you're just hitting everything all at once. And then you just make sure that you don't get the other Daedalus hammer upgrade where your special also hits you. Because there's one that's like, your special does 50% extra damage, but also hurts you, or something like that. And, yes, no bueno. I took that once just so I could get it for the Fated list, and then I ignored it after that because it was just too easy to utterly demolish yourself. I like the shield because I'm a coward. I tend to main the fists because it's just so easy to get an absurd stun lock going on some of the enemies, and there's also an upgrade for it that means you end up doing 900% damage to armor, which means that you can break stuff's armor really easily and then just continue to stun lock it. But yeah, there's the once you start getting the weapon aspects, once you can start upgrading the weapons with Titan Blood and whatever, the aspect of Talos is fantastic because it magnetizes enemies to your special, and so you can just like yo-yo enemies back and forth, especially if you have Poseidon boons. It's very, very good. It makes for an excellent combo. I've not played Slay the Spire, no. I've seen a few other people play it on Twitch, but again, too many games, not enough time. I would be playing Skyrim if I thought I had the time for it, for more inspo for this world building project, but yeah, frankly, I I do not have the time to play a lot of games. Shield with Merciful End build is so destructive. Oh, no, like, Merciful End on anything is just incredible. Just tap something with an attack and then dash into it, and it takes, like, 200 damage or whatever with upgrades. It's so good. Playing Slay the Spire right now? Well, there you go. Got some people in the crowd. Be great if one of the adventure tombs you make has a spawner. Yeah, no, so I'm going to be going through the world seed at some point. I have not done this yet, but I'm going to be looking through the worlds, like in a creative copy of the worlds on single player, in spectator mode, looking for good places to set up dungeons that actually have spawner dungeons in them. Wondering how you felt about queer headcanons of my Empire's character. As long as it's about the character, entirely fine with it. As long as you are inventing a character, because I don't really have a character as such, like I'm not developing my own character, and part of the reason for that really is because I saw what people were doing last season with everyone's characters on Empires, and just coming up with their own really exciting stories and inventive takes on what that character's whole deal was, and I want to encourage people to do that. And one of the ways I can encourage people to do that is to not really have a canon of my own. To just say, like, do what you want with this guy. Because, yeah, like, that way people can take inspiration from it and do whatever they like with the character, really. But yeah, as long as it's not, like, shipping real-world people, I'm cool with it. Am I planning on playing Minecraft Legends when it releases? Almost certainly, yeah. I played Minecraft Dungeons a whole bunch. I had a lot of fun with that. It's a Minecraft game. I'll check it out. My only canon character detail is being handsome. That's not canon I've made up. Not a canon I've made up. There are two things about my persona, I guess, on both seasons of Empires, which the fandom has entirely made up for themselves. The first being that the Copper King could see the future. Not a detail I came up with, like, entirely something that the fandom created on their own after, like, I did some funky stuff with, like, visions of, like, the Vigil and that kind of stuff, but that wasn't necessarily seeing the future. It was just people taking the idea of, like, oh, he knows when people have died, and he's keeping track of this with the candles and stuff, and so that became part of that character, but people decided that I could see the future. Nothing to do with what I said in any of my episodes. They just decided that on their own. And with this season, it's that this character is handsome. That's like the only detail where I'm like, I'm having nothing to do with this. You came up with this, not me. I guess I gotta do it that way, right? Oh, that's kind of rough looking, actually. would rather it actually looked good. So like that. Yeah. Yeah, okay, we'll deal with that. It's openable. That's the whole point. Am I inspired by Tango's Decked Out? I haven't actually watched any of Tango's episodes for a good while because LoyXP watches him for the recap. So I've seen other people running Decked Out last season, or last time it was made, so season 7. But I haven't seen anything of the development of it this time around, or, like, I know he did an episode about it the other day. So I haven't really seen enough of it. I am passively inspired by the fact that he's able to create such incredible stuff in Minecraft in survival, but as far as like taking direct inspiration from it for anything I'm doing, no. Archaeologists are either movie star hot or like that old dude from Up. There is no in between. Any of the archaeologists in chat want to chime in about that? He just started, though it'll take months? Yeah, sure. Rome wasn't built in a day. Also, this is the wrong way around. Wasn't Mojang going to add archaeology? That was part of the initial plan for Caves and Cliffs. They decided to shelve the system because, honestly, it wasn't all that well received when it was announced. And it was pretty clear that they had, like, a sketch of an idea for that one. And hopefully it'll come back at some point in future, but... yeah, I expect they didn't have a strong enough idea to really want to continue it for Caves and Cliffs when they split the update. Which makes perfect sense to me. Never really got a sense of what the system would actually look like. Using a brush on blocks to kind of scoop them away layer by layer to reveal artifacts, and a lot of that was designs that you could then put on a clay vase of a sort, like a kind of big clay jug. But that was really all we saw, and there was going to be the opportunity to get like other valuable items from it, but a lot of the stuff they showed in that video was placeholder, so yeah, you didn't get the best look at what archaeology as a system would have been like to play. It was just like a vague concept. Still hoping for that birch forest, though. That's what I was saying. I think it would be really cool if 1.20 was an update to forests. Like, forest biomes in general getting an overhaul, not just the birch forest. If you had updates to the flower forest as well, introduce the moo bloom, because people kind of liked that from one of the previous mob votes. Have I played Octopath Traveler? Yeah, I have. I never finished it, but I played the majority of it. I got to the point where I was getting everybody's, like, secret classes and stuff, like the optional bosses that you went to fight, and then you got, like, a secret job for them. I ended up doing all of those, and then it was, like, the last chapter of everybody's stories. I think I did one of those and then never came back to it. I think I just ended up playing something else. I uninstalled Octopath to make room on my Switch for something else or something, you know. You know how it is. Any mobs from Minecraft Dungeons that I would like added to the game? There's some that I think would be really cool additions, but I don't know how you would implement them in vanilla. Like, Geomancers, the Illagers who, like, pull all of the rocks around and create those kind of exploding poles.
Well, that's just prime.
Like, I think those are a cool idea, but, like, attacking them in a first-person game would be really tricky. I feel like they'd be more annoying to fight than they would be, like, good, you know? Have most of my games installed to an SD card in my Switch. See, I don't know if my Switch has any expanded storage. I think it's just got the basic storage that it came with. But, yeah, I have a couple of games that are actually, like, on the physical cards. But obviously you still need to install some stuff from those. Who's going to be playing the new Pokemon game? There's, like, an official trailer out for it now and stuff, right? Scarlet and Violet. Any of you folks going to be picking that one up? Because I really enjoyed Legend Arceus. I thought that was great. A lot of people are like, oh, the graphics. And yeah, the Switch is kind of showing its age a little bit, especially with newer systems having such cool games. But I honestly think with Pokemon it doesn't matter that much. Like, I think it's just going to be a fun little collect 'em up kind of thing. And yeah, I'm thinking I might pick up Pokemon Scarlet. Regional variant is Larvitar. See, I'm not that attached to any of the Pokemon necessarily. Like, it's funny because a lot of the time in the trailers, it's just exciting for people to see whether or not their favorite Pokemon is in it, and I'm like, I don't really care. I want to see the world. I want to see, like, what's the gimmick this time around? What are the kind of locations looking like? How does the gym system work? And it seems like with this one you can do the gyms in basically any order as well, which is kind of cool. Maybe it like scales depending on how many of them you've beaten already. Something like that. Probably going to get both. I'm too indecisive. Ah, the luxury of being able to buy 2 Pokemon games. Oh wait, that's the wrong way around, isn't it? Actually, you know what? Let's do something different on this side. Let's not make this entirely like this side. If it's not a new Pokemon Ranger game, then I don't care. Never played those, so I'm not certain what the deal is with them. Yeah, I'm beginning to see why I did those on the corners. You know, though, we can make it work. We can make it work. We'll do something like this. And it's still a pattern. It still kind of goes this way. What if you could rotate the pattern on glazed terracotta by right-clicking on it? Yeah, there's tools and stuff in data packs that let you do stuff like that, and it's nice, it's straightforward. And yeah, the debug stick lets you do that as well. It's just a creative-only tool. Like, being able to do it in survival would be kind of fun. Profs are prepared. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. Manti, thank you for the prime sub. Brand new subs to the channel, both of them. Enjoy your emotes, enjoy your sub badges. Welcome to the Pixels. Happy to have you. But yeah, the debug stick is kind of broken as a thing because it lets you have, like, illegal positions for certain blocks. Like, being able to create corner stairs without there being another stair attached to it. Zemo, thanks so much for the brand new... Oh, the brand new? It's not even a brand new. I was looking at the wrong thing. Thank you for the 5 months of Prime. Okay, we got a stair there, and then a pillar, and then the room begins. Okay, cool. Yeah, I really like this combination of the light grey glazed terracotta and that fully oxidized copper. I think those look really good together. Together! I think that's what we got going on. And then another basalt pillar immediately after that. There's no proper reason corner stairs shouldn't be able to exist on their own. Yeah, true. Right, what time is it? Okay, cool. We're probably going to be live for another hour or so. I don't want to finish up too late. But, yeah, we might put this on hold for now. It's going well. Got some good ideas. But I think for now we're going to drop these off in here. Wait, that's andesite. Hang on. There we go. We'll put some of this stuff just tucked in the corners for now, and we'll deal with those later. I'm very happy gravity blocks work okay with these block swappers as well. I was worried that the extra time it might take for the block to fall would be an issue, but I don't think that happens, really. It doesn't really affect it. What do I play in my D&D campaign? I play a human monk, drunken master subclass. His name is Banjo. He is 68 years old and in debt to various taverns. Monks are great. I really like them. My home game I started I DM for, but I have an NPC in the campaign who's a Way of the Open Hand monk. And I made him a Kenku, so he can't like guide the party because he can't speak in any way. In fact, he took a vow of silence, so his name is just Silence, which I think is a really cool name for a monk. But basically my goal is to have played every subclass of monk throughout my time playing D&D because I just really like them. I have played a Way of Mercy monk once, but that was because I needed a character for a one-shot, and it turned out we never actually did any combat, so I still don't know those characters' like abilities particularly well. Now, where did I find the Wither Skeleton Fortress? Is it that one? I think it's that one. Yeah, it is that one. Okay, good. Right. Do any of the emperors have children? Like, in real life? I can't do that right now. I can't do that right now. I have plans for a pillager patrol, but I can't do it. Another time, perhaps. Is Litematica available for 1.19.1? I don't know. We're also on 1.19.2 now anyway, so... I mean, the Minecraft releases are. Empires is not. Does Bubbles count as a child? Probably. Alright. Do I have a Discord server? No, I don't. Alright, time to see what going to the Nether is like. Good start. Playing a Druid Kenku in the current campaign who worked at the Witchlight Carnival. Oh, nice. Yeah, I haven't really dabbled in any of the written modules for stuff, so we haven't really touched Wild Beyond the Witchlight, but the game I'm playing in that I'm the Drunken Master is being run by a DM from the 8-bit community here on Twitch, and we're doing Princes of the Apocalypse, I think is the campaign is called. If you played it, please don't spoil anything. But yeah, we're having a very fun time with that. Alright, this is going to be a delight. There's everybody else's portals. It's always fun to see where everyone else has gone. There is a fortress, but not the fortress, although there's a couple of wither skeletons around. I say there's a couple of wither skeletons around. Yikes! That's a lot of action right here. I can see why somebody else has already come here, and... Oh gosh, the lag is not going to be helpful here. I shot 2 arrows straight through that guy, I swear. genuinely thought the Ghast was going to take out the Wither Skeleton for me. That would have been amazing. Did it despawn or did it just fly away? I can't tell. Can't tell, and honestly, I don't want to know. Ghast was like right there and now it's gone again. Where the heck was it? Perhaps more importantly, why the heck was it? Alright, get wrecked. You as well. Hello. I thought for a second that one had dropped a skull. Would have been so happy. But it's just coal. I love when skeletons fight. It's the best. Okay, okay. This wasn't even the fortress I was planning on coming to, but because it's in a basalt delta, this one has pretty decent spawns. Are you coming down, or are you just gonna... Sure. Good work. Again, I always need coal. I hate how accurate blazes are. Alright, and that guy just despawned as well. Hello, you. Get wrecked. Trying to get away from the zombie pigman. Again, nothing. Alright, I'm going to go to somewhere slightly safer than this. Because I know where there's a better fortress I can use. But that's still a pretty decent location if we wanted to do it with a skeleton farm. This one, though... This one is mostly in a warp forest. And so there are sections we can stand in here where we're only going to get Enderman spawns around us, which is a much smaller mob cap. Do I have a banner in mind for my empire? I think so, yes. I haven't designed it, but I got some ideas. I'm kind of waiting to see what everybody else's banners are like, though, so I don't end up doing something that somebody else was thinking about doing. Alright, we got good gamma. That'll do. Lag was weird. The character flew across the screen. I accidentally hit the F4 button, which toggles free cam, instead of the F3 button to turn off debug info. So I ended up just, like, having an out-of-body experience there for a second. See, right here, we're in a nether wastes. But if I go down this way, we're in a warped forest. So if I go to about here, we could actually do this with free cam. Is it going to render stuff when I can't actually see it, though? That's the question. See, like, now nothing is spawning around here. And I'm right the way down there. What mods do I use? I've got free cam and adjustable gamma. Yeah, so the free cam thing is just its own separate mod that we use because Tweakaroo was going to take a while to update. I think it's Tweakaroo that has the free cam thing as part of it, right? So you say wither skeleton rattles. Do you mean it, though? Is said wither skeleton up here? That's my main problem. It's either Tweakaroo or Mini HUD. I forget which one has free cam. There you are. Two of you. Two of them. Oh, there's three of them. Not the place I expected to farm wither skeletons, but I'll take it. Did another one, like, go down there or something? These are all inside the hitboxes of the fortress, so that's kind of an issue. Whoop.
Well, that's just prime.
But the gamma switching thing is from a mod called Gamma Utils. Fwhip found it. I think somebody else may have recommended it to him, but Fwhip found it so that he could see in caves because he's spending basically his entire series in a cave. Sweaty Pumpkins, thanks so much for the Prime sub. Welcome on back. Gonna make a canon excuse for the free cam cool archaeologist drone. Yeah, fair enough. See, there's a whole bunch of them over here now. Which I'm entirely fine with, as long as they give me skulls. Which these ones did not. Hey you! Give me your face. Didn't either. I have looting 2, not looting 3. It shouldn't matter too much, but there's a slightly decreased chance of getting wither skulls. Only slightly, though. There's a ton of other skeletons around there that I don't really feel like messing with. Give me your face, villain arc. Yes, Ko the Face Stealer arrives on the Empire's SMP. Yeah, honestly, I've been using the free cam thing a lot for this build I'm doing, just so I don't have to have a camera account logged in, and it saved me a lot of time of just, like, flying down to look at something from a certain angle, flying back up, all of that stuff. Love the sound of walking on nether bricks. Yeah, it's nice. I'm really happy that a lot of these blocks have their own dedicated sound effects now, because that's helping the game feel much more immersive, you know? Yeah, we got one right here. Hello, you. Didn't even know I was there for most of that. Oi! Oh, here's Scott. Let's him a wave. Ouch. Even try it. Got an Enderman over there. Blaze rods down here. We don't really need those. I think Shelby has like too many blaze rods at this point. I mostly just need the blazes to go away so I can get to these guys. Hello there. Stone swords sometimes look like iron. Oh yeah, I guess they do. One can have too many blaze rods as a witch. Well, when you don't know what to do with them. What enchantments do we have on that bow? Power 5 Infinity Unbreaking 3. I think that's it. I don't bother with flame right now. Prefer flame to fire aspect on a sword though. Has it ever happened with me that I spawned a wither and it went out of control? Yes. Not for a while though, because once you know the tricks, they're pretty easy to contain or defeat. But yeah, I've definitely fought withers in situations where it was an issue. I don't think ever to the point where it was like actively griefing other people's builds, but if you wanna see. Hey, Momanita, thanks so much for the 24 months, 2 years. Welcome back. If you want to see a wither fight that really went bad for me and some other folks I was playing with, just one other, actually. Me and Python had a series called Minecraft Harmony, where we went in incredibly overconfident to a wither fight and got our butts handed to us for no apparent reason other than it seemed like the mods that we were using for this mod pack were bugging out and we weren't getting all of the protection that was supposed to be on our like armor and you know anything else that was meant to be protecting us. So like you could have stats for gear basically, so you could get a rare variant of axe that would do like 11 damage per hit instead of 9 or something like that, right? But what that meant was basically, like, the last piece of armor that you wore, that was the only piece of armor that counted towards your actual defense. So the wither was just taking us out far too easily. And we were like, what's happening? Bedrock Wither is a nightmare. I think it's better now, right? Like, it's still not great. But it's better now than it was. Is anyone consider making a shulker shell farm in future? For this series, I'm not certain if we'll need one. Because we're not necessarily all technical power users that require a ton of shulkers for, like, storage systems and stuff. I can see why they make them on servers like Hermitcraft, because there's, like, 20 active players and they all need super big storage systems. But honestly, I think with the double shulker shells pack on this server, we could get enough shulker shells for everybody just by going to the end a few times. Maybe resetting end cities if we needed to, but I feel like people might just do it for content rather than out of any kind of necessity, but maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't plan to right away, but if people really need one later, I wouldn't mind trying it. Did just see a couple of wither skeletons over here, so I'm going to check out this little... Oh, not that one. Not that one. There's one there. Pretty standard wither... Not wither, nether fortress chest back there. Hey, buddy. He turned around and immediately met a sword to the face. Oh, and I met a basalt delta to the face. Will there be a shulker farm for survival guide? Probably eventually. But a survival guide needs one even less than this server in theory because it's just me on survival guide. Mainly a lot of the time with survival guide I'm doing stuff out of a notion of what I need for the series and trying to structure things around what a single player world reasonably needs rather than just going for tutorials and becoming like a full tutorial powerhouse out of the context of that, you know what I mean? Because there's plenty of easy shulker farm tutorials out there at this point. I also prefer to create the farms in these tutorials myself where possible, so I would like to take a look into shulker reproduction mechanics and try and find out if I can design a farm that will allow for stuff like that. Because shulker farms are pretty complex. You've got to have ways of transporting them and ways of refreshing the shulker when it takes enough damage that it kills itself. Eventually, though, yeah, like, it'll be worth doing an episode on them. Building one just because I hate end raiding rather spend the hours to build the farm. That's entirely fair. Yeah, that's fine. I'm trying to throw this down there. There we go, so I don't just pick it up. Java shulker mechanics different from Bedrock. I believe they're the same now. Because on Bedrock for a while it wasn't possible to duplicate shulkers, and I believe it now is. Hello. Nope, nothing. Yeah, shulker duplication was a thing in 1.17. It was a mechanic they added for the Caves and Cliffs update, I think. Thing with shulker farms is you don't really come up with your own design unless you put a whole lot of time into studying the mechanics. I mean, yeah, there's every possibility that if I spent a lot of time looking into how I could farm shulkers, I would just come up with the same result as somebody else. At which point it would just be about how you dress it up. But either way, like, there's enough people dedicated to this stuff when it happens that I'm hardly going to be reinventing the wheel. Like, I'm a little bit late to the game. If there's a mechanic that can be exploited around shulker duplication, people have found it already. I still think it's better to further my understanding of the mechanics and so that I can explain it a little easier, a little more naturally, if I had a go at working out how it works for myself. Need to find an easy shulker farm that can be set up in the end. Don't want to get a shulker to the overworld. That's fair. I'm pretty sure the design impulse built on Hermitcraft not too long ago, the one that involves scaffolding, doesn't require you to send them to another dimension like Doc M's farm did on the previous season of Hermitcraft. So that one you could, in theory, set up anywhere. But I think that's the only restriction in whether or not you can build it in the end or not, is does it use nether portals to clear the shulker away really fast? Hello. Yeah, the worst thing would be if we killed one of these skeletons up here on the top of the fortress and then it just dropped its skull immediately into lava. Thankfully, these skeletons are avoiding the possibility of that by just not dropping skulls at all. We're getting an Empires episode tomorrow. Nope. The thing I've been working on right now is going to be an episode further down the line, but it's not going to happen until somebody else has shown it in their videos. So right now I've been working on a project that is going to be like, it's in the bank for later. So I don't have an episode to come out like right away. Would I ever set up a ruin in the path of Fwip's tunnel and given it could be missed or partially blown up? I think Fwip, like, even if he doesn't do it in videos, does a bit more research into where he's tunneling stuff. Especially if he knows there's a possibility of it running into something else or blowing it up. But honestly, if he does, then he'd be happy to fix it, I expect. Or it'd just make for some fun video content that it wouldn't really matter whether he'd done any real damage or not. Do I need another beacon or a banner pattern? Yes. Excuse you. Still don't know how all the nether portal things work or why they're more efficient by sending stuff away to die. In the case of shulker farms, I think it's more likely for a shulker to reproduce. Like, they clone more effectively if there are no other shulkers in the proximity. So if a shulker detects another shulker within a certain range, it goes, okay, there are probably enough here, we don't need to clone every single time. And so the way that works is, yeah, like it clears shulkers out of the radius of the farm so that more shulkers can be produced more efficiently. In the case of other farms, it's to do with mob cap. A lower fire and shield this server's texture packs or my personal ones. I think they're part of the server texture pack, but I also use both of them on Survival Guide because it's better for content creation that way. I think there may just be too much other stuff spawning around here now. Yeah, there's a nether waste here. Bye, Scott. Can you light another portal in the end? Nope. You can try that if you want to give it a go in your own world. So it won't do anything. Do I only play Minecraft? In my personal life, I play other games. In terms of what I play on stream, I will occasionally play other games here, but it's mostly Minecraft these days. On account of Minecraft being what my audience knows me for, so typically it's what I play because I know people will want to watch. I've tried out other games on stream before. I played Stardew Valley for a bit. I occasionally pick up other games for a stream or two, but lately Minecraft has just been holding my attention very successfully. And my audience's attention as well. No, I've never played League of Legends. Not really my kind of game. What was my inspiration for creating the survival guide? It was really a couple of things. First of all, tutorials were the most successful thing on my channel, so it was pretty clear that people would appreciate me making more tutorials. And also wanting to have a long-term Let's Play world the way that folks like Etho and B-Dubs had one going for, like, years. And so those are, you know, the creators that I knew at the time had worlds like that. Obviously, there are people who've grown up learning Minecraft through people like Paul Soares Jr., who had a series very similar to Survival Guide. I'd never watched any of his series before, so I ended up watching the first one just to make sure I wasn't copying his idea in its entirety, but I was pretty certain I had other ways that I would want to do stuff, and quite frankly I thought it was time for an updated survival-based tutorial, because enough of the mechanics of Minecraft had changed. The update Aquatic had introduced things like swimming and whatnot, and there would just be things that weren't covered in some of the older survival tutorial series that were kind of outdated at that stage. So I thought, sure, let's start a single-player world. I'd never really had a single-player world since my original Pix Plays Minecraft Let's Play series, which was relatively short-lived because at the time my PC wasn't all that great, and then later I just felt like I hadn't got the right start, and I had difficulty structuring it as a Let's Play series because, you know, there weren't really any ideas there that I felt like I wanted to do in a single-player world compared to doing them on a server that I was already a part of. Will there be a Season 3 of Survival Guide or of Empires, P-Webby? I mean, the answer to both is probably. But, like, we don't know when, because honestly, Survival Guide is the kind of thing that I would update if there were significant changes to gameplay, like there was with the Caves and Cliffs update, because that basically made all of my previous tutorials about caving look kind of silly, because suddenly there's way more caves that you can visit. There's like a whole second set of layers to the world that I hadn't even mentioned in the first season of Survival Guide because they didn't exist at the time. But with Empires, it all depends on like what happens with a storyline when people are content with the story that they have told in this series and when they feel like they're done telling that story. But yeah, with Survival Guide, it's probably gonna... Survival Guide, we're probably gonna keep the same world until Minecraft mechanics change enough that there are... like, there is a reason to reset that world. Because I would like to keep it for a while. Has the trick of switching to a looting sword after killing a mob with a bow been patched? Yes, I still kind of do it instinctively, but I also do it because following up with a melee attack is usually my MO. It's usually what I tend to do. You can still fire a bow from your offhand while keeping a looting sword in your main hand, and I think that has the effect that switching to a looting sword used to have. Alright, we got hit, but that's fine. I kind of don't trust the occasional bits of lag we're getting right now to let me jump over small gaps like that. Nice. Hate it when people cancel D&D. Well, in this case, somebody's just unwell, so it's also the person who was, like, running the technical side of things for our D&D streams, so yeah, it wasn't necessarily, like, an inconvenience to us. It's much more just like, I hope this person gets better. Basically, if an update is changing early game gameplay, then a new series might be required. Basically, yeah. And I think sooner or later it'll get to the point where if that doesn't happen, I would still want to reset anyway because I feel like I've done everything I can in that world. Because at a certain point it becomes unnecessary to make a survival guide, even though later on I tend to think of it as a guide to what's possible in Minecraft rather than what you actually have to do to get certain resources or what have you. I think in my case I just prefer to keep it at least somewhat relevant to current mechanics and everything. This is some seriously bad luck with wither skeletons. I don't know how many we've killed at this point, but it's got to be a decent amount. Does it sometimes feel worthless to cover a topic you've already covered in Season 1 of the Survival Guide? No, because I've covered it in Season 1 and things might have changed dramatically since Season 2. Since, like, 1.18 came in. And if they haven't, then at least I'm doing it in a place where people are going to have watched the current season of Survival Guide, so people might not go back and look at episode, 145 of Survival Guide Season 1 to find what they're looking for. Like, I want to assume that there's at least some people watching it episode to episode, as opposed to just, like, typing what they want to see into a YouTube search bar. So it feels necessary for the continuity of the world, and also for the fact that I need some of those resources in my world. So, like, yeah, I built basically exactly the same Enderman farm in Seasons 1 and 2 of the Survival Guide. I still needed an Enderman farm, because it's really good for XP, and having a renewable source of Ender Pearls is also really good. But people are always going to use those videos in different ways, and that's kind of what the series is there for. Like, I don't mind if somebody goes back to Season 1 for something that I haven't covered yet in Season 2, that's totally fine. But the idea is that each season of Survival Guide is evergreen content. It can be watched basically whenever, as long as the information in it is still relevant to the current version of Minecraft. I'm hearing wither skeletons up here again. Hello? They're around here somewhere. There's one. Hi. No skull, but I'll grab the drops anyway, because honestly, bones and coal are both really useful to me right now. Relatively new player here, learn the basics of enchants from the Survival Guide. Awesome stuff. Very happy to be teaching people that stuff, because The game really doesn't signpost enchanting especially well, as proven by the fact that there's a Japanese player called Piro Pito who's been playing Minecraft for a couple of years now and has been completely unspoiled, hasn't looked up information about the game, doesn't read their YouTube comments, and yeah, has basically no knowledge of Minecraft at all and has just been figuring out the mechanics by themselves. Doesn't know how enchanting works. Has used an enchanting table because it appears in the crafting recipe book, but the whole put 15 bookshelves around it thing isn't explained anywhere in the game. Bones and Coal is a cool name for a band. It's a band full of wither skeletons. The Wither Skeletons is also a pretty cool name for a band. What are my thoughts on using a resource pack that shows all the trades a villager can have without leveling it? I mean, I don't know how the game decides that. Like, is it seeded beforehand? So, like, would you be able to know what a villager's trades were without having leveled it? Like, I don't know at what stage the game decides that information. Because that would be incredibly useful if you wanted to, like, min-max villagers, but personally I wouldn't go to all of the trouble because it would just mean re-rolling villagers even more than we do already. Is it only possible on Bedrock? Ah, there you go. That might be part of it then. It feels cheaty. I mean, sure, but, like, if it's part of a data pack, then you're willingly installing it. You know what I mean? Like, you can install all kinds of stuff that feels cheaty. Oh, Bedrock has a pack like that? Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I wasn't aware that was a thing, but it doesn't seem like the kind of thing that would work in Java to my knowledge, but my knowledge on that kind of stuff is relatively, like, slim. It's funny because on Java, you do get some weird situations with villagers occasionally. Like, I have a villager in my village that I was trading with earlier. I ended up getting a mending librarian just because I needed mending on some of my tools, if not all of them. And that librarian only has one book trade, which is unusual for librarians. Like, I find that they usually have at least two on average, but just all of the trades which could have been books or something else chose the something else. Except for the first one, which I knew was mending because it was what came up when I re-rolled the trades with a lectern, you know? Can also use a sticky piston to help reroll villagers on Bedrock. Yeah, there's some stuff like that that you can't really do on Java. Because you can't move all of the workstations. Welcome back, Scott. Librarian rolling is headache-inducing. Honestly, I much prefer it to the old system we had, where you basically had to breed a bunch of villagers and kill the ones that didn't have the trades you wanted. But, yeah, I definitely see your point. Another one walked in here, I think. Oh no, probably couldn't have walked in here. Maybe despawned? Or maybe walked off there. I heard one over here. Hello? Oh, there you are. Hi. Thanks for the lag spike, buddy. Seriously, we've killed so many wither skeletons at this stage. Does looting still work with the bow in your offhand? Apparently, yes. Unless they got patched in a more recent update. How many skulls do I have so far? I only had the 3 that I used to fight the Wither the first time around. But I haven't got any since then. Like if I, oh yeah, mobs. I've killed 115 Wither skeletons. So I think as far as the odds go... What is it, like 1 in... Is it 1 in 30, 1 in 40? Somewhere in that range? Depending on looting, I suppose. I should have more Wither skeleton skulls than this, is what I'm saying. The other thing is we have fire tick off on this server, which is fine for the purposes of making sure people's buildings don't burn down. But it does mean that blazes are able to create pretty high-level light sources that don't go away on their own. And this... this is why I'm not happy with the amount of lag we have right now. That where the skeleton got up to try and guard the blaze that I was about to hit. Almost. Okay, that's him taken care of. Now these two. Seriously now. Brady Step, thank you so much for the tier 1. Appreciate the resub there, or the new sub there. What's everyone's favorite light source in the game? My new one is Verdant Frog Lights. So 5.5% to get ahead with looting 3. I have looting 2 though. But that's still like 1 in 20, right? A little bit less. 1 in 18, maybe. .5%. Yeah, in that case... I don't know, 3 after 120 with the skeletons is still pretty low. The other thing I need to do is make sure I have enough fireworks to get home after this. Yeah, I've basically only been to fight Wither skeletons when I've had looting 2, but I just don't have higher than looting 2 on this sword. Yeah, you can still have a really bad streak, I get that. Honestly, at this point, I would have had better luck getting these Wither skeletons to the overworld and waiting for a thunderstorm. Getting charged creepers to get the mob heads for me. Yeah, there's plenty of farm designs for Wither skulls. I have one in the survival guide. You can get them pretty easily as well because there are some biomes in the Nether which don't have a great deal of natural mob spawns, so all of the mob cap, can be taken up by fortress mobs. So in my survival guide world, I have one that's in a warped forest, kind of like this one is, although this isn't entirely in a warped forest. Just most of it is. And that farm gets so many wither skeletons for a relatively simple setup. It's a small fortress as well, so I did spawn-proof some of it because it seemed like it'd be worth doing for the efficiency and is still pretty good. Do wither skeletons take damage in water? I don't believe so, because they're not based on fire the way blazes and that are. Why is the Empire server lagging? I don't know. Maybe it just hasn't had a reset in a while. It's just me and Scott on right now, so... Don't think either of us are doing anything particularly strenuous. Hello. Come down here where you belong. Now die. That zombie piglin was trying to get me in trouble. Did a little bit of mouse mode there. Yeah, I thought so. Don't you have the mod for mob heads on the server? Does that only work on mobs that don't usually drop any? Yes. So any of the mobs that have a way of obtaining their head in survival Minecraft, in default survival Minecraft, are not affected by the data pack at all. So you still have to get zombie, skeleton, and creeper heads by having a charged creeper blow them up. You still have to get with a skeleton skulls the normal way, and even then, like with the mob heads data packs, some of them have a specific percentage of drop rate, so you're not getting them from every single mob of that type that you kill, right? Especially with stuff like slimes, where they break up into potentially 16 slimes from one large one. You'd end up with a lot of slime heads. Do wither skeletons turn into strays when frozen, though? No, they die. Do you like the pet magma cubes? Yeah, I like the pet magma cubes. I just had so many of them after clearing out that basalt delta for the Froglight farm. Alright, probably going to wrap up relatively soon here. Anyone tried or designed a blaze farm with powdered snow? That should work and not be too big. That's the thing. Do blazes destroy powdered snow blocks? Because they're on fire some of the time. I think when a blaze shows that, like, aggro fire, it is, technically speaking, the entity is on fire. It just doesn't take fire damage. Can anyone confirm? Because you could still kill them passively, but if you do that, then they won't drop blaze rods. Because, like, if you kill them with snow golems throwing snowballs, they don't drop blaze rods. So you'd basically have to hit them with a sword, and doing that would aggro them, which would destroy the powder snow. You could maybe use powder snow to soften them. but like it wouldn't work as a passive kill mechanism. Come down here, you. Yikes. This ain't great. If that wither skeleton had dropped a skull and then this ghast had destroyed it with a fireball, my life would be over. I do not believe that happened, though. Hey, at least I have a lot of bones and coal after this. Didn't think he was close enough to the edge to go off, but I guess he was. Do I prefer everyone to address me as Pixlriffs rather than my real name, or is everyone just doing that as a habit of calling me Pixlriffs? It is a preference on this stream specifically. My real name is out there, but I prefer people to not get that kind of parasocial thing where they feel like they're on first name terms with me, just as a, you know, social boundary on streams and in videos. I use my real name on the podcast I co-host, for example, but, like, there's no real need for people to call me that, because I feel like that creates a level of familiarity I'm not entirely comfortable with from an audience of strangers. What about in Empires? A few people from Empires know me by my government name, but like honestly, like people just a lot of the time in creator communities, people call each other by their usernames anyway. Like I think Scott was saying, he was like, when he sees a few of the folks at Fwip's wedding, which is coming up really soon, he's not gonna not call Mythical Sausage all night because it's just funny. I don't know everybody on Empire's real name. Like, I know a few of them, and a few of them have it in, like, their Twitter bio and stuff, but, like, don't know everybody's name. I always make the joke that, like, if we woke up from the Matrix tomorrow and we had to use our online screen names, I'd be entirely fine with people knowing me as Pixlriffs. Like, it doesn't matter. It's a chosen name rather than a name that I've just been, you know, given by my parents, or, you know, in my case, I tend to use a nickname, which is a pretty common abbreviation of my actual name that's on my birth certificate. But, you know, I'm a big fan of chosen names in general. It's a good concept. Sausage is still a mystery to the world and should remain so for all time. International Man of Mystery. Mythical J Sausage. Get out of here, you. I watched you die! It's really interesting that there's some folks on this server who are entirely fine with everyone just using their real names like normally. Or in Jimmy's case, something that's not his real name but is a human name. specifically chose my username as a reminder not to give out IRL info, right? But I haven't met anybody from Empires in person except for False Symmetry once at an event in 2017. At which point we weren't exactly like on first name terms, but we knew of each other because I've been doing the Hermitcraft recap for a little while and she knew who I was. So it's kind of strange to imagine any of us like meeting up, and like I don't know if I ended up meeting up with the rest of them, if it would be more natural feeling to use their real names or not. Like I genuinely don't know. The other thing that I haven't had the need to come up with yet, because live events haven't been a thing for the last couple of years, like, man, it still makes me mad. Imagine how different the world could have been if the pandemic hadn't happened, which I know is obviously like a big ask at this point because of the way the world works. But if we hadn't had the pandemic that we'd had, and stuff like Minecraft like festival had happened, so like Minecon had come back basically, because I would have got to meet so many people in person and would have been, you know, potentially able to participate in events like that on a larger scale. Like, I haven't come up with, if I was like doing a signing or something, I haven't come up with a signature for like Pixlriffs as a signature, but I would probably have to, because I wouldn't want to just like use my real signature that I put on like legal documents and stuff to sign stuff for people. You know, so I genuinely like I want to come up with at some stage, if there's the likelihood of returning to in-person events again, I need to come up with a Pixlriffs signature, or at least something that I can like write on stuff that doesn't look completely dorky, because my handwriting is terrible and I don't really do cursive. Like, I never really learned to write cursive all that much, so I don't know how I would develop that kind of signature. Could Empires have a panel at Minecon? Probably. Like, if we put together a pitch for one, then yeah. Your D&D group cancelled yesterday too? Oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah, one of our folks is unwell, so wanted to make sure that she could rest up and get better. Straight up, the only thing you use cursive for is your signature? Yeah, I just made my signature up. It's not, like, based on cursive or anything, because, like, I don't know. I was just trying to figure out a signature at the time. Sign it PR scribbles for the rest? Yeah, that's the thing, like, I want to just make it a set of scribbles that I could easily reproduce. Because otherwise, how do people know it's your signature? You know what I mean? I don't want to write it differently every single time, which I feel like I would do if I just went PR Scribbles. To be fair, PR Scribbles would be a great username. Oh, there's a few lads out here today. Don't know if I actually hit that guy or not. I did not. Get back. Where did that come from? Oh, I thought that was a wither skeleton on the ground. I thought that was a wither skeleton skull on the ground. It turns out that guy was just at the right height. Dang it. Can we get some debated in chat for that? Oh my goodness. And then he turned around. The cheek of it. Unbelievable. Absolutely got debated by that wither skeleton. It even looked like it was rotating slightly in the way that dropped items do, you know? Oh my god. Oh, unbelievable cheek. so funny. Okay, now this situation I'm not a big fan of. Because these blazes won't leave me alone. There we go. When the lag makes all the damage ticks happen at once and I'm in mid-air at the time, yeah, not my favorite. Not my favorite. Where's that guy going? Does he have a way up here? Can he, like, come out the top of this or something? Let's track his progress via the sound effects. Imagine if they did a mob that looks like a floating item, but then it flies up and attacks. Oh my goodness. Hello. Oh, there's a couple of them down there, actually. Hi. Hi. Another one down here somewhere. At least I heard one. There he is. Yeah, you come on through here. I want to hit the other guy. Hey, it's Joel! What's up, Joel? And friends. Welcome on into the worst luck of my Minecraft life. As far as I can tell, at least. Some iron and stuff in here that I can grab. Not that we really need it at this stage, but yeah, I'm trying to fight some wither skeletons, well, I'm fighting them pretty successfully. I'm trying to get hold of some wither skeleton skulls. And therein lies the problem, because we have just killed, I want to say, probably around 100 wither skeletons. Probably not that many, to be fair. 148 wither skeletons total. I think maybe 60 of those were before this stream. So I've killed a fair amount of them. We're over here in this combination Basalt Delta, Soul Sand Valley, Warp Forest, and Nether Wastes fortress. It's spawning things, but we are having the worst luck getting wither skeleton skulls. Ideally, I'd only like one. I didn't think it was going to be that much of an ask. But, turns out it is. Hunter, thanks so much for gifting a sub to Joel. Welcome on in, Joel. Hope your stream went well, buddy. Thank you so much. I know if you've got a raid and run, that's entirely fine. Frustrating reskulls. Yeah, I've only got looting 2 on my sword, so I could be giving myself a percentage more opportunity to get them. But look at the amount of bones and coal I have from fighting these guys. I got 40 blaze rods and still absolutely no sign of a skull. I feel cheated, I feel robbed, I feel angry. I'm good, actually. Hunter, thanks so much for 15 months. And Lil Fish Droid with the tier 1 sub as well. Thank you so much for the support, folks. If you're just in from Joel's stream, you probably know who I am, but if you don't, I am Pixlriffs. I am the other half of the Spawn Chunks podcast. And, probably best known on YouTube for the Minecraft Survival Guide, the Hermitcraft Recap, and this series, Empire's SMP. I stream Tuesday, Thursday, and every other Sunday, but today my Dungeons & Dragons game that usually happens on the alternating Sundays was called off because one of our party is unwell, and we wish her well, and hopefully she'll get better soon. But in the meantime, we have a little bit of free time on Empires just to mess around and try and get hold of some wither skeleton skulls, allegedly. I'm probably going to get myself down to the next, I want to say, like, I'll give myself, like, 10 to 12 fireworks left before I decide I have to head home. But I don't really have any fireworks in an ender chest or anything anywhere, so I would like to be able to leave here with something. Other than bones and coal, I mean. Because I have plenty of those, and I'm quite happy for both of them, actually. Been needing some bones. Coal is always useful. Would really prefer not to die at any point throughout this process. But hey, at least this place does spawn a fair amount of wither skeletons, so could be worse. I don't have safety bars set up absolutely everywhere. Hello? I thought for a second that zombie pigman attacked me and I was going to get very, very worried by that. But thankfully it's just this guy. And all his little mates. We have been having the occasional lag spikes as well, which is why I'm playing maybe a little more cautiously than I would otherwise. Because occasionally the wither skeletons do take the fight to you. Very, very suddenly. Does anyone know if there's a way to make the glowing effect only showing one team? I don't know for certain. I've not really messed around with effects for the purposes of like mini games and stuff, so not my field of expertise, unfortunately. Maybe somebody in chat can help. Alright, there's 2 in here. We can block that off. Hello, come this way. Now die, you fool! Alas, he was not the one. You're out of cinnamon curls, oh no! What's a chef to do? Alright, maybe not this way. Maybe this way is just a terrible place to be. Hey, another one. Oh, and he got the drop on me right there. Kind of literally, actually. I'm stung. I'm wounded, I'm hurt. I'm armed. Making chicken pasanda. Oh, that's what I order from our local curry place. Love a pasanda. Do larger world files have more lag than trimmed ones? I mean, probably, yes. A game has more data to take care of. Yeah, the recipe would be nice. I mostly make curry out of a jar, but always game to try something new. Bonnie, thanks so much for gifting 2 subs. Very kind of you. Folks in the chat, if you've been gifted a sub at all on this stream, please make sure you thank the very generous people who gift subs to the community. Making sure you got those emotes, the sub badges. You can watch without ads for 30 days. These are all the benefits, and there are a few more. You get extra channel points, so you can change the background lights at any point. If anyone's curious about what the channel points are, why they're just a bunch of named colors.
Well, that's just prime.
Kaya, thanks so much for the Prime sub. It's a brand new sub to the channel. Enjoy your emotes and your sub badge. Welcome to the Pixels. Right, pretty soon, I'm going to have to wrap up here. And much as I want to stick around until I get a Wither Skeleton Skull, it had better happen soon, otherwise I'm going to run out of time for this stream. I'm on the clock here. There's one skeleton down here. Oh, there's two there. As long as we can get all the other mobs out of the way first. That'd be the ideal. Hello? The guy sniped me from in there. Unbelievable. He's got a little pillar box over there. And then he despawned. To add insult to injury, he despawned. Back. Can't really get their attention that way. Yeah, the ones I'm shooting with the bow and I'm one-shotting, that's not the ideal way of doing this. Thuronel, thank you so much. Or Thuronal, I'm not sure. Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. And Ehal Live, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Looks like we have another hype train going. If anyone wants to get some exclusive Twitch emotes, can share some bits, gift some subs, any of that good stuff, all gets you a ticket to the hype train. Skeleton went down here. Hi. Oh, there's a couple of them. Come back. I must hit you again with my sword. That's just a piece of coal. It was just that one, right? Yeah, that one and these two blazes. These three blazes. This man at the end of the corridor. It's him. He's the one. I believe in him. He's the one who will give us the Wither Skeleton Skull we need. Manifesting! Dang it. Oh! I heard him before I saw him. Yikes. Piglin with a stone sword. I think that one's picked it up from the, Alright, the zoomies. From these Wither Skeletons. I'll look at the alerts in just a second. I'm just trying not to get withered here. Bonnie, Liara, Quitch's Dream, thank you so much for the bits. A level 5 hype train gets him the hat, and he thought he was safe from the hat today because it was supposed to be D&D. It's true. And Mavis Nightwine, thank you so much for the 9 months. Enjoy your Mike sub badge. And getting to name the Twitch baby. Don't really fancy that. Still no skulls. Still no skulls. Where are you? I think that's up on the surface. Don't think it's in here. There are also blazes up there, which I don't appreciate. Where am I hearing that guy? Oh, there you are. You weirdo. Where you been? Incredible. I've got enough bones for a stack of bone blocks now. Marksman, thank you for gifting that sub. The dying blaze sound is so satisfying. Nobody more satisfying. They added a sound effect to them dropping a wither skeleton skull, and we heard it very often on this stream. Yes, looting on a sword helps with the head drops. Moves the odds by maybe a percentage point. So right now I have a 4.5% chance of getting a wither skeleton skull from this guy in particular. But the game is not keen on that happening. Yeah, you never noticed it helping because the odds of getting wither skeleton skulls are relatively low. Thank you folks so much for getting another hype train going. Always appreciated. We are close to wrapping up here today, so... if I can pick up the XP, hello. Thank you. Okay, we're getting some pretty major lag spikes now. Not the biggest fan of those. Oh my goodness. Gonna be back on Tuesday? Yes, yes, definitely. We gotta have a chopping Tuesday after all of the building I've been doing. I don't really fancy fighting ghasts with this amount of lag either. Oh, there's a couple of good groups here though. See if we can get these guys to come over one at a time. Come here, you. Nope. Next. Nope. Where's this cheeky skeleton? I think he might have fallen off the edge trying to get to me. I don't even know where the stuff is coming from anymore. Marksman, thank you for the tier 1 sub. And Diane Ira, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Might get 2 of them in a row. Seems unlikely. I think at this point I'll get one for a Christmas present. Am I going to make a beacon? I already have a beacon. I'm trying to get Wither Skeleton Skulls for various other things. Another beacon wouldn't be too bad, but frankly, the amount I'm getting, I'm not going to have another beacon for a while. Yeah, Christmas in July, next July. Crypt decoration, something like that. Big yikes. Okay. Always nice when a blaze shoots at you like a shotgun. Okay, just had to check that those guys were going the other way and they just hadn't, like, lagged out and turned around. Gah. Yeah, I think I need looting 3. I think it's looting 3 or you don't get looting, as far as this stuff goes. They haven't nerfed Wither Skeleton Skulls or anything, it's just, the game being a pain in the butt. Game being game, you know? Yeah, like, so the looting 3 would only be like 1% more than looting 2, but at this point it may as well be 50%. Yeah, this is the opposite of streamer luck. So I should have been getting 1 in 20, in theory, like roughly 1 in 20, maybe slightly less. 1 in 25. I have this many bones from mostly killing with the skeletons. Master Shifu, thanks so much for the 4 months. I'm doing very well aside from having terrible luck today. No complaints. At last. We got one. Good, 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 good. Okay, well now we've proven the game isn't broken, it's probably time to head home. We'll take these guys out as well. And in fairness to the game, I've not been killing absolutely every one of these with a looting sword. I have been, like, one-shotting a couple of them with a bow. So the odds on those were not as good as if I had killed them all with a looting sword. But still. Game's still broken. Fix it. Alright, let's head on back. Just got to make sure I actually get home, which I have plenty of elytra durability to do, so that's one thing I don't have to worry so much about. The route back is something I do have to worry about somewhat. So let's just fly through this lava column. Sure. Dish! Thank you for the 38 months. Ah! Cheeky slime farm. Also a couple of piglins in a boat. Going on a little holiday, bless them. Like doing the bow and the offhand thing to get the bonus. I would do that, but it means I can't hold my shield at the same time, and I am a habitual shield user. I can't not have a shield in my offhand, because I feel like I'm just going to get attacked by stuff. Which, yeah, happened a fair amount, actually, during that process, so... Quite happy that I don't have to worry about that. Do we see anything from up here? Oh, we see one of those. Kapow! Get wrecked. We are close to my portal, which I think is down there. Yeah, there it is. I know this nether. Okay, time for a lag spike as we go through to the overworld. That's terrifying, always. Always terrifying. Time to be in the same place several times. Oh gosh, it's like Groundhog Day. Groundhog Portal. Alright, I think I'm actually here. I think I physically exist in the space. It's a good start. And then I can reveal that the entire time this was for a banner pattern. Skull Charge. Yeah, we did it for the banner. So, I guess we'll wrap up there. I've got some trading to do with people that I'm not going to be doing on stream. Going to be doing it off camera. Or on camera, but not on stream. You know what I mean. For a video. Apparently, I'm a YouTuber. So we're going to wrap up here and send you folks over to somebody else who's streaming Minecraft here on Twitch. Thank you so much to Joel for the raid and everybody for the support today. Really appreciate it. Very, very happy to have you as a wonderful community. And let's go see one of our friends who streams the Minecrafts. There's a good few of them out there streaming today. Let's go raid Genfire. Genfire is part of the Truly Bedrock community, is playing on their Java hardcore project right now. Has raided me a couple of times recently, so always nice to return the favor. Thank you folks so much for being here. We'll be back on Tuesday for another Choppin' Tuesday stream, probably from Empires once again. And we may be working on some other projects at that point, but I hope to see you again soon. And I'm off to deliver a lot of Deep Slate to people, I think. Thanks so much for being here. My name's Pixlriffs. Catch you all later. Bye for now.